Friday the 13th. Did you guys know that?
Just talking on not gambling advice about it. And has anything ever bad happened to you guys on Friday the 13th?
No, I don't think so. Like, I don't think so. How often does Friday the 13th happen? Is that
I think it's the biggest myth in the world. Just because they made a movie about it, now everyone has to struggle on this random Friday that's the 13th. I think it's the biggest bunch of bullshit in the world. Nothing's ever happened to me. Actually, usually I have great Friday the 13th.
Oh,
maybe
there you go.
Me.
Change the narrative. I do think it's one of those things that there's probably a fair amount of people out there that actually attack their day with like feeling like they're down in the count because it's Friday the 13th. Like it's an 0-2 count just because it's Friday the 13th, which is crazy. I hope you all are having a wonderful day because it changes nothing. And the calendar's kind of fake anyways, right? Wasn't the world supposed to end in 2012 according to Mayans?
Yeah, that was a good movie.
Yeah.
No, but the rumor
I went on
is
a middle school date to go see 2012.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I wore jeans and people thought I dressed up because I wore jeans. I was the sweatpant kid.
Have you guys heard that rumor? I don't know exactly what it is, but it's that the world did in fact end in 2012 and that we're on a new spiritual path. Have you guys heard about that?
No, I don't get that high.
That's not high. I think that's...
Oh, by the way, this is the Just Baseball show. It's Friday, May 13th. Jack McMullen, Peter Apple, Aram Layton. I could have been open and honest and told you guys that I do have a slight phobia of the number 13. It's a real thing. It's called Triskaidekaphobia. Let's talk about parking spots. I've got parking spots labeled 1 through 200 in my building that I park in or in my parking structure. So I can't park in 13, 26, 39, 52, any of those. 13 or multiples of 13.
Actually. No, thank goodness. You probably wouldn't still be here if you didn't do that.
I know. Exactly.
Keep it up, man.
I can't park in those. So today sucks for me already.
Can I ask
I need
why?
you guys to be nice.
Can I ask why?
Because I'm mentally not 100% healthy. Is that fair?
I just have to be honest. I've never heard of that. I don't even know what to say.
Yeah, man, the mind works in mysterious ways. But moving off of that, back to baseball. Rapid fire here. You guys didn't even know. We are going to do a little game of true or false. Each of us brought 5. But before we do that, I've got the top 10 in hits per 9.
I actually just bought 3. Sorry. I only brought 3 because I wanted to do 13 total true or falses. Is that all right?
Dick. But honestly, rapid fire. Try and name the top 10 in hits per 9 in Major League Baseball at the moment.
Manny Machado.
Hits per 9. Pitcher stat.
Oh, pitchers. I'm being an idiot.
Manny Machado, though, he's the best at everything right now.
Yes.
Applicable answer for anything.
Perfect.
That's what I'm just looking at this hit stats. I just see he's still leading the league in hits. So I'm like, he hits per 9. He's probably averaging like 6 hits per 9 right now.
So it's basically which pitchers are getting shelled the most is what you're asking.
Shelled the least. Hits
or the
per 9.
least.
Fewest hits per 9.
Fewest
We're
hits
already off to a terrible start.
Yes.
There we go. Friday the 13th.
Fewest hits per 9. Isn't this supposed to be true or false?
Yeah, but rapid fire before we get into the true or false.
Okay, I'm gonna say Bruce Zimmerman.
No.
Dang it. Corbin Burns.
Yes. The list makes
Pablo
a lot
Lopez.
of sense, actually. There's one outlier.
Carlos Rodon.
Yeah.
Pablo Lopez.
Yes.
Okay.
This should be way easier than it is. Why am I drawing a blank?
Who else is carving up the league right now? Who else?
Shane McClanahan.
Yes.
Yes.
Shohei?
No.
No.
I'm gonna go with Chris Bassett.
No.
That's actually a good guess.
That's
I
a good
like
guess.
that
Been carving lately.
I feel like Scherzer's been getting hit a little bit.
Yep. No Mets.
Kopech.
No, not Kopech.
What? He's been shoving.
I know. He's
Bueller.
just outside.
And we said, did we say Nestor yet?
Not Bueller. We didn't say Nestor. Nestor's on there.
We sure it's not Bruce Zimmerman.
You're missing 1, 5, 7, 8, and 3. 1,
Miles
3, 5,
Michaelis.
7, 8. No, not Michaelis. Good guess.
Fried? Max Fried?
Not Fried.
Wow.
Not Eovaldi.
No, not Eovaldi.
What
Is
about
hits
Jordan
per 9
Montgomery?
just a fake stat?
Hits per 9 is the amount of hits that guys are giving up.
Yeah, I think we got to take a look at this stat. Maybe it doesn't matter.
You guys are going to be kicking yourself. I'm just going to give it to you so we can get back, so we can get to the true or false. You're missing Justin Verlander, who is the MLB leader in hits per 9 right now.
Who's that?
You're missing Reed Detmers, who just threw a no-hitter. He's the outlier.
That does help.
Dylan Cease. You're missing Joe Ryan. And you're missing Alek Manoah.
And Kevin Gausman, we didn't even say it. He's not even in there.
Yeah, but that's a pretty cut and dry list. That list actually makes a lot of sense. Being a month into the year, you'd think that you would have more than one outlier, 1.5, I guess, with Nestor, but Nestor is some proven validity now. But like 1.5 outliers a month in is pretty impressive. That's a list that makes sense.
And I was going to say Joe Ryan's an outlier, but he's not really an outlier. He's just a really good pitcher. Yeah, he's just a really good pitcher.
Merrill Kelly snubbed.
I don't even think Detmers is that much of an outlier.
Detmers is an outlier, big time.
Just because he gives up a lot of hard contact. That's what makes the no-hitter so insane. What did he strike out? 2 batters in that no-hitter?
2 people. Struck out 2, he walked 1.
That's insane.
Nuts. All right, let's get to true or false. So each of us came with 5. Aram was just being mean. We've got 15 total, not 13 total. So we're going to go, let's see, counterclockwise, because that's how they run the bases. We went clockwise last time. So I'll start, and then it's going to be Peter, and then it's going to be Aram. Fair?
Perfect. Fair to me.
First, true or false? The starting pitchers with the 3 hardest fastballs in Major League Baseball all have sub-3 ERAs.
False.
It's true. Garrett Cole has a 2.67 ERA. Sandy Alcantara has a 2.74 ERA. Shane McClanahan at 2.52.
Really?
Yep. Sandy also leading Major League Baseball in walks.
That's the most insane thing I would have put a lot of money on that.
He's walked 19 guys.
Yeah, he's falling behind everybody. It's wild.
Bizarre.
The reason I thought it was true, because I assumed Zach Wheeler would be up there. I know his velocity has ticked down from 97.2. It's sitting around 95.5 right now. Yeah. I thought it was possible that he could be up there, and I know he's got an ERA over 4 right now. So that's why I was like, I think it's false, but there you go.
What about Hunter Green?
No, qualified starters.
Yeah, he didn't qualify quite yet. That's what led me to the no.
Because he's getting shelled.
Yes, he is indeed
so he's not logging outs.
Shellacked.
We ready to move on to mine?
Yes.
Perfect. True or false? Manny Machado leads the league in WRC plus at 208.
False.
False is correct. Mike Trout, and he's so far ahead of Manny Machado, who's in second with 208. Mike Trout has a 247 WRC plus. I just wanted to bring that one in just to remind everybody that Mike Trout is certainly the best player still in baseball.
Yeah, but Mike Trout's an OBP merchant.
Yeah, which doesn't matter, right? That's also a stat we need to look at. How important is OBP really, if you think about it?
If you think Tim Anderson's a BABIP merchant, Mike Trout is an OBP merchant. You know what? He's a
WRC
plus
in home runs. He's leading the league in home runs. But one of those home runs was off Brett Phillips, who is an outfielder. So he's kind of a merchant. You're kind of right.
Yeah, it's kind of deceiving. I think he's due for regression to like 200 WRC plus, which is the craziest part.
And Reed Detmers is a blowout win merchant. Right. He only threw a no-hitter because they were up 12-0.
It was easy. Anyone could throw a no-hitter at 12-0.
Yeah, exactly.
Any way to negate anything impressive. I feel like that's like what a lot of people try to do here. But the thing I always say with Trout is you look at some of his quote unquote worst offensive seasons, they're on par with like Juan Soto's best offensive seasons. If you look at WRC plus, if you look at a lot of other metrics, pretty freaking insane if you think about it that way.
Mike Trout's worst seasons are the ones that he just doesn't play enough games.
And still finishes 4th in MVP voting
exactly.
in like 120 games.
Exactly. I think in his worst season ever, or at least one of his worst seasons statistically, he was almost a unanimous MVP.
Yeah. I mean, he was top 2 basically every single year except for the one year he was hurt, and then finished like 4th. And then of course last year that didn't quite happen because he didn't play at all. We ready for mine? Because I'm going with history for you on this one first. We're going with a history banger.
Oh my God.
I hope I phrased this well. Since 2000, only 5 first overall selections have accumulated at least a 20 WAR. So
You
first
said-
overall pick. So there's
yeah,
been
you said only 5 in the last 22 years, even though 20 and 21, or even though 20 and
so
21.
you have to
haven't
think about it
debuted.
from a couple of different lenses, right? Like obviously nobody from like 2017 on would have been able to accumulate a
Right.
20 WAR at this point. So you're really looking from 2000 to 2017.
Bryce Harper.
Correct. Yes, he has that. I bet Price has it.
And the interesting thing is we know
I
how many
wonder-
busts have been number 1 overall, which is why I thought this was a fun topic.
I know this is a good one. Does Strasburg have over 20 WAR?
No, I bet no. I say, and I know why Aram had this. You should go to justbaseball.com and read the dive on Royce Lewis. But I think the answer is true. Only 5 guys.
I'm with that. I'm gonna go with Jack and say true.
False. There have been 8.
Eight.
And the reason why I brought this one in is because we've always had the number 1 pick stigma, right? Like so many busts, number 1 overall. And I think it's just because the busts resonate more, right? Like they echo in our brains
Right,
more.
the Tim Beckhams of the world and the Brady
Correct.
Aikens or the Mark Appels.
The Brian Bullingtons or whatever. Like
Yeah.
those guys are like echo in our minds. Matt Bush, even though he is a great story coming back around to even have a positive F WAR is pretty crazy. But the 8 players are Carlos Correa,
Mhm.
Garrett Cole,
Mhm.
Bryce Harper. Strasburg did indeed accumulate. It's 36.6. We forget how good Strasburg's been when he's on the field.
Whoa.
David Price, Justin Upton, Joe
Mm.
Mauer, and Adrian Gonzalez.
Wow.
Pretty cool. That's 8 players right there that have accumulated a 20 F4. And one other D-backs draft pick could have a chance to get there.
Dansby Swanson.
Correct. Dansby Swanson will
Yes.
probably get there if he keeps playing defense the way he is. Pretty cool though, right? I mean, not as bad as people thought, I think, for the number 1 overall pick. It's not been great, but it could honestly be worse. I think people would all have said that was true.
You know,
we just
I
did
bet,
too.
and I bet, I know we have a lot of diehard baseball fans that listen to this podcast. I bet a lot of people forgot that at least one of those guys was the number 1 overall pick. If you asked me
easily.
what pick did Justin Upton go, I couldn't have recalled that Justin Upton was the first overall pick.
I was going to say the same thing, Jack. I also totally forgot that Adrian Gonzalez went first overall. Think about it, a lefty first baseman going first overall, but it ended up working out pretty well. But I just totally forgot that Adrian Gonzalez, I knew Joe Mauer. That was one we should have known, but Adrian Gonzalez, I was like, no way he was first overall, but he was.
And 2 crazy things. Upton was drafted as a shortstop, and Adrian Gonzalez was drafted by the Marlins and then traded in 2003 for Uguith Urbina, who was the Marlins closer that ended up helping them win that World Series before he was put into state penitentiary for attempted murder.
Ooh,
there it is.
Tough look for Ugueth. How do you spell Ugueth?
At Ugueth. He won the World Series with the Marlins, closed out some big games, and then attacked somebody with a machete. So life comes at you fast.
Wow. Okay. So
Life
machetes.
comes at you fast.
Life comes at you very fast. Machete is also a very unique way to go attack somebody.
Yeah, it's pretty cold-blooded.
Cold-blooded, big time. All right. Next, true or false before we get too deep down that rabbit hole. Going back to the pitch velocity, the fastball velocity and ERA thing. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
The converse. The starting pitchers with the 3 slowest fastballs all have a sub 4 ERA. True or false?
False. Has to be false. Has to be false.
I'm going to go true because I feel like if you're going to have that low of a velo, you got to be able to get outs.
Okay, so it is false, but 2 of them have a sub 4 ERA. Kyle Hendricks has a 4.38 ERA, but Adam Wainwright has a 3.18, and Zach Greinke has a 2.67 with the lowest K rate that I've ever seen in my life. Those are the 3 qualified starters that sit below 90 miles an hour with their fastball.
I was thinking Kyle Hendricks. I was like, it has to be, but he did just throw 8 shutout innings against the Padres. So I was like, it has to be false. But then I'm thinking to myself, did he just get somehow below 3 from the upper 5s? But I'm like, even with that, he was still over 4.
Yeah, he went from like 5.27 to like 4.38 with 8 shutout innings. Yeah. This guy, watching the game feed on Baseball Savant, you get the fire emojis with every hard hit. When Kyle Hendricks starts and you look at like the final line on Kyle Hendricks, there are so many fire emojis. Every single start, just everything is barreled against him.
Yeah, it's actually crazy.
But 8 shutout innings is 8 shutout innings. The only problem is you could just never know when Kyle Hendricks is going to throw in a good start. It could be on the road against the Padres, or it could be at home against the Pirates, where he gets blown up. It's just so much inconsistency.
No, man. Wind blowing out, day game at Wrigley, over.
Getting killed.
He's getting killed. All right, next one from Peter.
Next one from me. Jeremy Pena is top 10 in FWAR and has a better WRC plus than Wander Franco. True or false? I'll reword that again. Jeremy Pena is within the top 10 in FWAR in the entire league, and he has a better WRC plus than Wander Franco. True or false?
Oh, man, that's super close.
Okay, so I'm going to say false. I think he's a top 10 FWAR player, but I don't think he has a higher WRC plus than Wander Franco.
I'm going to say false for the same reasons.
And you would both be exactly correct. Jeremy Pena is currently 8th in FWAR in the entire league, and Wander Franco has a 144 or 146 WRC plus. Jeremy Pena is sitting with a 144 WRC plus. So It's very, very close, but you guys are both correct.
So Aram and I, before we recorded the call up, by the way, go listen to the call up because we just finished 1 through 10 on MLB's top 100 prospects. We just did, the entirety of Aram's novel of the top 100 prospects on the call up. So you can listen to any grouping at 10. But right before we did that, I was reading MLB.com put out an article. Here are the MVP frontrunners, and they had 64 people vote. And others receiving votes in the American League, Jeremy Pena got votes. And I was like, what are we doing here? Like, Jeremy Pena is not an MVP frontrunner. And then you mentioned that he's top 10 in FWAR and has a comparable WRC plus to Wander Franco.
And one of the best in DRS, defensive runs saved in the entire game. He's been phenomenal.
But the only problem is that WRC plus is related to league average, right? So the league average hitter is straight dog shit right now. So a 144 or 146 WRC plus, Jeremy Pena is hitting very well, but it's not like he's hitting 300 or anything. He's in the 230, 240 range in batting average, but he's getting on base and he's hitting for some power. So that's why he's that much above over league average. But still, the league average hitter is much worse than in normal years.
Yeah. 100%.
Okay. So I'm going to go with, I have 2 different team defensive stats. I'm going to go with one on the negative side. Besides the Cincinnati Reds, the Philadelphia Phillies are the worst in baseball when it comes to defensive runs saved. True or false?
False.
I'm going to say false because that seems too easy. No. True. I'm changing it to true.
Because it seems too easy?
Yeah, I'm changing it to true.
It is false.
Dang it.
The San Francisco Giants are the second worst in baseball with a negative 14 DRS. I couldn't ask that one because that would have been too obvious. It would have been like, that's too random. Negative 14 for the San Francisco Giants, negative 11 for the Cubs, negative 10 for the Nationals, negative 9 for the Phillies. So not good in Philadelphia, but could be worse.
How have the Red Sox been?
The Red Sox are 10 defensive runs saved. So they are 8th best in baseball.
Wow.
Devers actually looks pretty good over there, 3rd this year.
Yeah, Xander's still doing his thing, though.
Yeah, Xander's been terrible. Hey, Rafi's lip is getting bigger and bigger.
Every day, it seems like.
His tobacco dependency is sky high.
Yeah, I was going to say, he needs a tolerance break.
Yeah, he's building a tolerance.
Yeah, so he needs like a bigger lip and bigger lip and bigger lip.
What if it's just Big League Chew and we're like making fun of him for no reason, but he just loves double bubble?
Then the sugar's wrecking his gums. Like,
yeah,
you can either
might
have
be
tobacco.
Worse. I wonder what is worse.
I have no idea. Well, one's cancerous and one's just sugar. The thing that I will always remember, Wilson Ramos. I saw him warming somebody up in the bullpen when Ramos was visiting Chicago. His team was playing the White Sox. Wilson Ramos, he was catching somebody in the pen. And before he makes his walk back to the dugout to start the game behind the plate, Wilson Ramos gets frisbeed this tin of like grizzly wintergreen, like long cut. And he takes 3/4 of the tin with all 5 fingers and packs it so far in his cheek. I was appalled. I was like, how do you build your tolerance like that? I would be projectile vomiting within 5 seconds.
I've never, all the years I played baseball, always was too chicken to ever try it because I knew I would instant vomit.
I don't blame you. So I've only
smell is
done a
also
pouch
kinda
once. I've never done long cut. I've only done a pouch. And when I put a pouch in, I threw up 10 minutes in and I haven't done it since.
Coffee grinds. I would pack some coffee grinds.
Yeah. What's that brand?
I don't even remember, but maybe we
You
should
don't
reach
remember,
out to them. Maybe they want to sponsor the pod. Coffee
Yeah.
grinds. Your tobacco
We'll
alternative.
say their name if they sponsor us.
Yeah.
Should we move forward to their next true or false?
Yeah, we
Yes.
can. All right. You ready?
I'm ready.
True or false? There's only one guy in Major League Baseball with a sprint speed over 30 feet per second.
False. And I think I know who it is.
False. There's got to be multiple.
Can I say who I think it is?
Yeah.
I just saw recently Bobby Witt Jr. is out here running like nobody's business. And then, of course, I think Trey Turner is above it. And I'm going to say Tim LaCastro is another guy who's over 30 feet per second.
Jorge Mateo.
And Jorge Mateo, great one.
So Mateo is actually under 30 feet per second.
Oh, wow.
Slightly under 30 feet per second. You know who else is slightly under 30 feet per second is Jose Siri. I thought he would have been over 30 feet per second because he flies. You're right. It's false. There are 3 guys with a sprint speed north of 30 feet per second. Trey Turner, Eli White with the Texas Rangers, and Bobby Witt Jr. is the fastest guy in Major League Baseball.
Crazy. I saw that a couple days ago and it kind of blew my mind. I mean, Aram, 80 runner.
Yeah. Isn't that nuts?
We were just talking baseball.
We were just talking about this with Julio because Julio's 7th. He's just a few inches away.
I was
going
going
to
to say, so 29.8, there are 4 guys between 29.8 and 29.9. That's Jose Siri, Matt Vierling, Jorge Mateo, and Julio Rodriguez.
And the craziest part is like what Peter was just saying. We have plus run tool on Bobby Witt. I think everybody has a 60 on him. We had a 55 on Julio Rodriguez on his run tool, and that was higher than a lot of others. Most had a 50, and clearly Julio is an easy 60. So it's funny how we were a lot of the industry was underestimated the speed of both Bobby Witt and Julio, and we're seeing it now on the forefront with the way these guys are running on Statcast.
Can I ask you guys a question too? Because you guys, you get in the weeds, you're rating all these different prospects, you're putting tools, you're putting all this time into it. I've never really understood how people gauge the speed tool. Because, for example, if Bobby Witt Jr. is truly the fastest player in baseball, at least right now by sprint speed,
Right? Shouldn't
and
it
we
be
know
80?
that he's cerebral enough to steal bags too. What's keeping that from an 80 runner? I'm genuinely curious. I'm not saying that you guys, of course, like rated. I don't know across the league how it's gauged.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question. It's usually stopwatch to first base, right? And like that, maybe he's slow out of the box. Like I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah,
It's pretty
you
wild.
look at home to first, you look at home to second, and all that
Yeah,
stuff
that's
too.
what I
Because
always look
sprint
at,
speed,
but-
he's usually, you're rounding second to go to third. So it's not always like getting out the box. Maybe you're a little bit slower. But for example, Julio's got 9 stolen bases or something like that with
And
one
I
of the
think
top
now,
sprint
right?
speeds, but a 55 run. I don't get it.
And 55 was on the high end.
Yeah,
Why would we give him
exactly.
50?
That's what I'm saying.
Like it's crazy. Even Torkelson, I think Fangraphs had a 30 run tool on Torkelson. He's like 78th percentile in sprint speed. 30 would be like me backpedaling. Like 30 is slow.
You're giving yourself a lot of credit right now.
Okay.
Dude, 30 is slow.
Do you think you're a 40 runner, Aram?
Yes. I absolutely think I'm a 40 runner.
Really?
I think I'm a 20 runner.
Dude, 40, like I think you're underestimating how not fast the average baseball player.
No, I saw Luke Maley leg out a triple. That guy is a 5 runner. I know we're 20 to 80. He might be a 15 runner.
I think I
Yachty
think I
run.
can be a 40. So I think I could be a 40 runner because I've raced Griffin, and Griffin, I think they gave him a 45. He's got a step on me or two. So
you're a
I got to be
40.
like a 40.
Yeah, you're a 40.
I think I'm a 20 runner. I got flat feet. I think I'm a 20 runner.
Aram's a 20 future value though.
Oh yeah. With my hips. Yeah. After I get this hip surgery, yeah, future values is going down.
All right. Next true or false. Juan Soto leads the entire league in walk rate right now with a 17.5% walk rate. True or false?
I feel like Carlos Santana might have him beat.
Qualified.
Is he not qualified? That
Santana might not be qualified.
bomb.
I say true because I was looking at strictly just zone percentage, and Juan Soto's zone percentage, I think like 35% of the pitches that he sees are in the strike zone.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna take the field. I'm gonna go false. I think he's one of the highest, but I think he's top 3. But I'm gonna go false just for being different.
Aram, you basically spelled it out. He is top 3. He is not number 1. Max Muncy leads all of baseball with a 22.1% walk rate. Can you guys guess who's number 2?
Well, Muncy is this year's Yasmani Grandal. I just want to get that out there.
Seriously.
Yeah,
hitting like hitting a $135 and striking out with the bases loaded. But man, can that guy walk?
Number 2. This is a tough guess. If you guys get it, I'll give you like a big hint. AL East. I'll even give you the team. He's on the Yankees.
So it's Gallo. It's not Gallo, obviously.
Not Gallo.
No, it's not Gallo.
This is tough.
Hicks.
Aaron Hicks. At 20%. That's what he's sporting.
He's having a good year, man. Like,
he's a good player.
He's a good player when he's healthy.
The problem is his bat to ball is just not great. He's like a 220, 230 hitter. That's the problem. He just doesn't get enough hits, but man, can he get on base with the best of them? And that is valuable.
That's all they really need, right? I mean, you don't need him to like hit 40 homers.
It'd be nice if he, hit 250. Yeah, it would be nice.
Yeah, that does sound nice.
Like, your outfielder, like, can you hit? Yeah, get on base,
listen,
whatever.
It'd be great if Max Muncy could hit a $190.
Yeah, but he's gonna finish with a better batting average than Aaron Hicks, I'd say.
Do you think he finishes with a better batting average than Yasmani Grandal had last year? Honestly,
what did Grandal finish with last year?
I'll tell you right now.
178.
Yasmani Grandal last year hits. Oh wow, he hit 240.
Oh, he went off.
Guy went off. Oh, that's right. After the All-Star break, he had like an out-of-body experience and then he hurt himself.
Yeah. That's why he played 92 games, correct?
Yeah. 93.
93. My bad.
Yeah. You got to memorize baseball reference, Pete.
True or false? Yasmani Grandal played 92 games last year.
False. 93. Nice. All right, Aram, your next one.
Okay. So I wanted to stick on the DRS route because I think that's always a fascinating one, but instead I'm going to go stolen bases. I had a couple extras that I was thinking about, and I'm going to pivot to stolen bases on this one. But I'm trying to think about the best way I want to phrase this. The Tampa Bay Rays lead Major League Baseball in stolen bases. True or false?
False.
I'll say false as well.
True. 27 stolen bases. They are
For Tampa?
number 1 in baseball. Next best is the Cardinals at 26. Next best is the Angels with 21, but they've been caught the most 11 times. No one else has been caught double-digit amount.
Where are the Royals? For some reason, that came into my head as one of the top teams. Are they even close?
They're on the 60-day IL with Adalberto Mondesi.
Yeah.
I know, but you still got Whit Merrifield. You got Bobby Witt Jr.
They're 14th.
14th, so not even close. And Whit Merrifield's not even getting on base, and neither is Bobby Witt. Bobby Witt is actually lately.
Let me just say, Whit Merrifield can't lead the league in stolen bases if his OBP is 198. He's one of 3 qualified hitters with an OBP.
He'd have to steal every time.
200.
You'd have to steal every time.
3 guys with an OBP under 200. Whit Merrifield, Jonathan Scope, and Aram's favorite prospect, Christian Pache.
I'm floored that Pache is struggling.
Yeah.
I love him, though, too. He's a great guy. He's so cool. I wish he was good. I really do.
I'm looking at Tampa right now. Like, there's nobody that's taking the league by storm in the stolen base department. Like, they are spread out. Mm-hmm. Taylor Walls has 5. Arozarena has 5. Margot, who has been awesome, and Jake Graziano just wrote something up on Margot. He's got 5. Franco's got 3. Brett Phillips has 3. Kiermaier 2. And then, people are sprinkled with 1, including my guy, Vidal Brujan.
I have a bet right now with Colby going. I have over 1 or 20 stolen bases this year, and he said I was a lunatic for even thinking that was possible. What do you guys think about that currently?
What is he at?
He's only at 3.
Yeah, 3 in 30 games.
Yeah.
It could be close. Depends. I mean, he's getting on base a lot right now.
That's what I'm saying. He's on base literally every day. So
what do you think Wander Franco's OBP is right now?
Yeah,
340?
328.
Ooh.
But isn't his batting average pretty high, though?
304.
Yeah.
Jeez. What's he walking? 4% of the time?
He's got Wander's got 5 walks in 131 plate appearances.
So less than 4% of the time. Jeez.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Interesting.
That is
That's not
crazy.
good.
Slapping hits left and right, though.
Is it my turn?
No, I think it's my turn.
Oh, it's your turn?
Yeah, I think it is your turn. Yes.
Yeah, it's my turn. Okay. How about this? You ready? Even with the spider tack crackdown last year, Garrett Cole is the leader among starting pitchers in fastball spin rate.
That's such a good question. I'm going to say it. I'm going to take the field. I'm going to say it has to be false.
I'm going to say true because I think he found another way.
Okay. Like blowing on his hand, activating that weird thing. Like he pooped himself and then he blows on his hands to activate the sticky poop.
The poop.
Poop.
Is that a theory?
You saw that.
Jack and I made
up
that theory.
I think that was last week, right? Week and a half ago. He had something like on his right butt cheek and he kept going to it and then blowing on his hand. And then his fastball would just hum.
And that's how you activate spider tack. You get a little moisture.
Yeah. Poop. The answer is false. He's 4th among starters in fastball spin rate. The 3 ahead of him, Joe Musgrove, Michael Kopech, and Julio Urias.
Well, is this year?
Yeah.
Wow. Julio Urias, really, at 92 miles an hour.
Musgrove, Kopech, and Julio Urias.
Wow.
It's pretty impressive.
I watched Julio's fastball right after this because I was like, how the hell is Julio on this? And I like the GIF that Pitcher List showed me. And then I went and like just did the random video thing on Savant and all that stuff. Like this guy's fastball, it carries. Like you can tell that it pops. It's mid 90s, low to mid 90s, but that thing pops.
Hums. It just looks faster than 92, 93. It looks like 95, 96.
Exactly.
I'll break into my next one. The Diamondbacks have the second best team starter ERA at 2.43. True or false?
True. Merrill Kelly has been awesome. Mad Bum, I think, still has a sub 2 ERA. Zach Gallen is amazing. I say true.
Aram, what say you?
I'm going to say true. They faced the Marlins like 6 times, so that helps. Yeah, I'm going to go true.
The Diamondbacks have the second best team ERA in the sport right now. That I just had to ask, even though I know it was kind of a given because I was
it was given, but like
the ERA, but I was like,
great.
I still can't believe it. I still can't do it. But really, they have been amazing. Zach Gallen, especially. Like I think Zach Gallen will be in the Cy Young talks when we look back at his year, but unfortunately, with Arizona, I just don't know if he can actually win it.
Another one of those.
Yeah.
I was just saying another one of those awesome trades where it's just like both teams made out really well, right? Like the D-backs don't necessarily need a Jazz Chisholm right now. That doesn't really help them. They could, but they desperately needed pitching. And and the Marlins desperately needed Jazz Chisholm. And it's been really lucrative for both parties. I love trades like that. It's always cool.
100%.
Who do you guys think? Oh, no, sorry. Go ahead, Jack.
No, I think Jazz at short and Ketel Marte at second would be the sexiest middle infield ever created.
Oh, yeah.
Tough defense, though, over there. Jazz at short and Ketel at second. Not great. Tough sledding. Yeah, who do you guys think has the number 1 starter ERA in baseball right now? Which team?
Dodgers.
Yeah.
Dodgers. And guess what it is?
It's like sub 2.
1.78.
It's
1.78.
And they're going to get Dustin May back.
Yeah, it's like really started hitting yet.
I mean, Kershaw's been awesome.
You want to know something else about the Dodgers too? This is more of a betting angle, but their current record right now, they're going to face the Phillies tonight. We're recording on Thursday to be released on Friday. They are currently 20-9. That's the record on the year. They're also 20-9 against the spread. So in every single win this year, they've won by at least 2 runs or they've lost. Crazy.
Huh. They haven't won a 1-run game yet.
0, and very few 2-run games either. They're all 3, 4, 5, 11. Sometimes they beat the Pirates 11-1, but then they lost 2 of 3 of the Pirates. So they won 11-1, but then lost 2 of those games.
Yeah.
So I'm on the Dodgers spread tonight against Zach Wheeler. We'll see how it works.
You see what the Pirates just did, by the way?
No.
Cole Tucker down. Rodolfo Castro up, Tyler Beatty claimed off waivers.
Oh,
He could be good.
This is interesting, man. The Buccos are back.
They're wheeling and dealing, but
They're
O'Neal
all the way
still
back.
posted up in Indianapolis. Obviously,
O'Neal and Cole Tucker is the middle infield tandem.
Dan
We are all
Vogelback
witnesses.
Is so fun. Dan Vogelback is so fun, dude.
He's
Vogel,
large.
baby.
Fun.
He
He hits some
large.
fun home runs.
Okay,
Guy's
I
bizarre.
got a good one. I'm actually excited about this one. The
You're not
AL
excited about
Central.
the other three.
No, not really. The AL Central has the 3 lowest strikeout totals for teams. And we're talking about the hitting side of things, right? So the AL Central has the 3 teams that have struck out the least. True or false?
This is a tough one.
That's very niche.
Yeah, this is a tough
These
one.
are all super niche.
Can you repeat it
Uh,
one more time, Arm?
The AL Central has the 3 teams that have struck out the least this season so far.
No way. But I've been wrong on everything so far, basically.
I'll say
No,
true.
no way. False. No way. No way.
I say true.
It is true.
Oh, damn.
The Kansas City Royals have struck out the least in Major League Baseball with 199. The Chicago White Sox have struck out the second least with 205.
That's
And the
surprising
Cleveland Guardians have struck out the third least. The Stephen Quanians have struck out the third least at 224 times.
That's shocking about the White Sox. I assume probably Guardians Royals, but I was like, there's no way White Sox. Don't think Twins. And
I was floored that the Royals were the Royals are the only team in Major League Baseball with less than 200 strikeouts. They have 199.
just a lot of soft contact coming out of Kansas City.
So
Right now.
much soft
Not
contact.
much else coming out of there. Yeah.
Before we get to our next true and false, I think we got to talk about our friends at Loop, because I have been just all over the Loop app lately.
Yeah, you were playing around the other day, right?
Dude, I'm having so much freaking fun on this freaking app. I'm just learning about cards. Like, all the great breakers are on there too. Like, it's just so much fun to go on the Loop app. And even if you're not buying anything, even if you're not spending anything, well, first, if you use the link in our episode description, you get $20 free just for joining to buy a pack basically on us. But then also, even if you don't want to spend any money, sometimes I don't spend any money. I just watch the breaks too, because they're always pulling these great cards, and someone else will buy like this $1,000 box and you just get to watch them pull these autograph and then talk about it's. I'm having the best time. Like, it's just such a good time.
It's funny that so one of our friends at Loop, I was talking to him, and he was like, the only thing that might be as fun as ripping the cards yourself is watching people wealthier than you rip way more expensive cards and see how it goes.
Absolutely.
I have definitely done that on the subway, or like when I'm going places, just join a stream and, hear the seller ripping stuff and just watch and see what people pull, because people are in there like blowing money. But that on the $20 credit thing, I was thinking about it. I was like, okay, if you don't collect cards, which is understandable, I get it. Although more and more people are getting into the hobby, and Jack even made his first purchase recently, which I'm excited to hear about. You get a $20 credit. Like, why not just use the $20, download the app, use the $20 credit and just let it fly. Open a couple packs. Someone reached out to us and mentioned that they did it, and they pulled a Curtis Mead, and they're like, what should I do with that? And I was like, hold on to that. Raised prospect, top 100 guy for us, top 50 guy, I think, for us. Like, I'm a huge Curtis Mead fan. I was like, boom, free Curtis Mead card. Essentially, it's like, I'm not that into, I would say, like, Broadway. But if someone gave me a chance to win free Hamilton tickets, I'd say, sure, I'll enter it. And then I'll just sell the Hamilton tickets. Like, that's just kind of where I'm at on that.
I really want to talk about our friends at Loop, but we're going to go to a Broadway show, because one of my dad's best friends, shout out Patrick Page, he's Hades in Hadestown right now. Broadway plays. Say what you want. If you haven't been to one, you got to go to one, because they're actually incredible. They really are fun.
Yep. So Aram tried texting me, trying to take down Broadway yesterday. Broadway. I said, listen, the only thing that can take down Broadway is the novel coronavirus. That's the only thing that can take down Broadway. But you know what? Broadway bounced back and they beat that fucking coronavirus. So we have something in our big Just Baseball group text that has, 20, 25 people, where Aram sends things, just totally out of context. Like, there could be a conversation going on, and then Aram changes the subject entirely. And that's called an Aram transition. But Peter had a good Peter transition, getting back to the Loop thing the other day, we were having a conversation, I think, about just like how the Red Sox are fraudulent and all that stuff. And Peter out of nowhere comes in and says, I freaking love this Loop app, man.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, we're not doing the podcast. He's just coming in with his Loop segment in the middle of the group chat.
No, and yeah, it's to all the people who've already downloaded Loop. I'm like, I am having so much fun, like way too much fun, because I pulled an Ellie De La Cruz and I pulled a James Wood.
You pulled an Ellie De La Cruz
and a James Wood in the same pack. I mean, they're the base cards, but I was like, I don't even care.
That's good.
I mean, what are those worth right now? Like, let's say I own the first
30, probably like, $20-$30 each.
I mean, I spent $20 on the thing and I got 2 of them. And then I think I got a Mason Win card too.
And it was a $20 credit. So
you got a Mason Win card?
Yeah.
He's going off. He's going off.
That was easy. It's so much fun. It's like gambling. It really is.
It kind of it is. No, and
know how much you like that.
well, they have to put the pack odds for that reason. And speaking to just like the growth of cards and everything, if you don't want to just collect baseball, all of these sellers have cards for everything, right? Like the F1, that's a huge area now for cards. And the Loop shop itself for the Miami F1 race, that the Grand Prix they just had there, they have the 1-of-1 Lewis Hamilton out there. I have no idea how much that's worth. It's a gold autographed card at the physical store. If you're ever in Miami and Linwood, Loop has the shop there. I can't imagine how much that Hamilton card is, but that's the cool thing too, is like you can go on the app, go on the store, say, you know what? I'm gonna mess around and rip some football today, or F1 or
Jonathan
UFC.
Taylor rookie card.
Yeah.
Something like that.
And all of these sellers have all of that. So that's the really cool part about it. And that's why I love going on there and sometimes dabbling in some other sports, even though I would say 98% of what I rip is going to be baseball.
Yeah. You know what I love watching is soccer card rips. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know if you guys are, super into that
about soccer.
Erling Haaland is a 21-year-old and he just signed a transfer deal to Manchester City. And he's going to be making 450,000 euros a week, which is the second highest earning, only to that of Cristiano Ronaldo in the Premier League right now. So this is a 21-year-old, 21, 22. I think he's still 21. Erling Haaland is like I think he's Norwegian, but yeah, wow. He transfer fee, and he's going to make a little under €500,000 a week. And like, I know, much like Shohei Ohtani, if you can pull an Erling Haaland right now, like that's the guy that you want.
And again, you can find that link in the episode description too, because you click that link, let us know that they sent you. And if you just download the app, you're not going to get that $20 free credit. So make sure you use our link and you get $20 for a pack on us. You can take soccer, baseball, football, basketball, F1, literally any sport possible. It's probably like lacrosse guys on there and like women's volleyball and just
they got everything. WWE. Someone pulled a really rare The Rock card that apparently is worth a lot. You never know.
You never know. Wow. And it's so much fun.
Smell what The Rock is cooking. All right, let's get back. Okay, last true or false from each of the three of us. I'll start. True or false? The White Sox have 2 of the top 3 guys with the highest chase rates in Major League Baseball. The White Sox, who have the second fewest team strikeouts in baseball, have 2 of the top 3 highest chase rates in the game.
Okay.
Yeah, I got my answer.
I'm
going true.
Why do you feel so confident in that?
I know Luis Robert chases as much as anybody in baseball, and
that's a good point.
Tim Anderson is swinging as much as anybody in baseball, which naturally I think will get him a little bit of a high chase rate. I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna say true.
That sounds pretty specific. 2 of 3. I will also go with that. I like Aram's reasoning behind there.
Okay, I was kind of a dick. It's false. It's 2 of 4.
Have I gotten one right yet?
I don't know.
They're 2 of 4. You're an ass for that.
I am an ass, but 3.
It's like we were technically right. Like that was the right.
Here's the thing. I wanted to dig the knife in on Aram because 3 is a name that he's very familiar with.
Oh, I know. Yep, it's fucking Avi Garcia.
It's Avi Garcia.
By the way, never not swung in his life.
Tim Anderson is the only guy in Major League Baseball with a chase rate over 50%. Tim Anderson swings at everything. 52.5% chase rate. Raimel Tapia is 2. Avi Garcia is 3. And Luis Robert is 4.
You never understand why guys like Avisel Garcia, Raimel Tapia, what are you chasing for? I mean, when you make contact, what's going to happen? What are you swinging?
Well, we know what's going to happen when Raimel Tapia makes contact. It goes on the ground.
Exactly. So why are you chasing? Avisail Garcia, what's going on?
Dude.
Just do it. Pull a Max Muncy or even Yasmani Grandal. You can have a 168 batting average, but just walk. Just don't swing. Put the bat on the shoulder.
So hard.
I'd love to see him not swing. I would relish less swing.
You'd love to see him not play.
Yeah, he's been hitting a little bit better lately, I will say. He had a couple hits over the last couple games, but man, is he not good. Yeah, that was a good one. That was a good one.
Thanks.
That was a good
All
one.
right, Peter.
I like how you said dig the knife into him.
Yeah, just put me out of my misery.
Just turn it.
Okay, so I'm trying to figure out the one that might be a little bit harder because I have two more, but I'm just going to keep it to one. I'm going to phrase it like this. The New York Yankees have the best WRC plus in baseball right now at 117. Oh. True or false?
It's park adjusted.
Yep.
So I'm going to say false.
I like that reasoning. Although Peter's a big ass Yankees fan, so I say true.
Aram, do you want to switch or?
I'm false.
False? He would be right. It is false. But guess who number one is? Because the Yankees are number two at 117.
Rockies.
No. Number two. That's actually a good one. I would say.
And it's by a sizable margin too. The 125 for the number one team.
Whoa.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's not the Jays.
It is not the Jays.
Is it St. Louis?
It is not St. Louis.
Ooh, St. Louis has to be high up there though, with Arenado and Tommy Edmonds swinging.
They are high up there. I think they're either 6 or 7.
Okay.
They're in the top 10.
Oh, you know what? Is it the Milwaukee Brewers?
It's not the Milwaukee Brewers either.
Man.
Think about the first question. Mike Trout leading the league in WRC plus.
Oh, well, you just gave it away.
Yeah,
I know. Well, the Angels lead the league in WRC plus with 125. Crazy, right? Taylor Ward, Mike Trout.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. You have the best hitter in baseball, and then Mike Trout. Like that's nuts. and Shohei. Like that's a lot.
And Jared Walsh is hitting well too.
Yeah,
they just
Walsh
have a lot. All of it's great.
Wow. Okay. That's good. I like that. And so their offense is clicking on all cylinders, above really anything we've seen, even with Trout healthy. And the pitching is the best it's been in maybe a decade. It's good stuff coming out of LA and Anaheim.
If not now, when? Anaheim, and it's this year. Let's go. I'm fired up for it.
I'm in for it. I would love some Mike Trout. Actually, let's get Taylor Ward to the playoffs. Let's change the narrative here.
True.
Let's get Taylor.
He's got a drought too.
If we change the narrative, it might finally happen.
Yeah, exactly. Let's get Taylor Ward to the playoffs. Is it time for my last one?
Mm-hmm. Time for your last one.
Okay. This is so I had 2 and I wanted to decide, but I'm gonna go with this one. Manny Machado leads Major League Baseball with 52 batted balls over 95 miles per hour. True or false?
That makes sense to me, right, Jack? I mean, he's one of the league leaders in hits. He might be the league leader in hits.
So there are 3
He hits
guys.
the ball pretty hard.
There are 3 qualified hitters right now with an average exit velo over 95 miles an hour, and none of them are Manny Machado. It's Stanton, Judge, and Yordan Alvarez. Having said that, Manny Machado puts everything in play.
Correct.
And hard.
I say true.
I'd say true as well.
False. He's second.
Oh, I'm so bad.
Who's first?
Can you guess who number 1 is?
Was he one of the 3 guys that I just named? Is it Jose Ramirez?
No, he is not even in the top 10.
Holy shit.
Is it Nolan Arenado?
He is not in the top 10.
Oh my God.
Is it Taylor Ward?
He is not in the top 10.
Yeah, and Mike Trout.
He is not in the top 10.
Dude. Oh my God.
Eric Hosmer.
He is not in the top 10.
I thought that would just be out of left field. I thought that's
let's keep going until you guys get 1 in the top 10.
Yeah, let's go.
I'm gonna guess Judge.
5th.
Oh no, he said none of the 3.
Judge is 5th, but it's
Judge
none
is
of the
5th,
3.
Okay.
Stanton's got to be up there.
He is not in the top 10.
Oh,
Vladdy?
7.
Springer.
No.
Ooh, Springer's
Little
the
finger.
So you know what's crazy? Christian Yelich at 8th with 47.
Well, he
Such
just
a
hit for the
fucking
cycle,
hell.
so he's all the way
Yes.
back.
Number 1 is Rafael Devers with 56 batted balls, 95 miles per hour and over.
Okay.
Wow.
That is outrageous.
That is
outrageous.
He hits
Machado number 2 at 52, Wander number 3 at 51, Abreu at 50, and Judge at 50. Bo Bichette just behind at 49, Vladdy at 48, Yelich at 47, Gurriel at 46, and Gene Segura tied with 46.
Which Gurriel, Yuli or Lourdes?
Lourdes.
Lourdes.
Gurriel.
Lourdes.
Yeah.
Because I was like, Yuli's out here still doing it, 38.
No.
I was like, no way.
No
Yuli
way.
might Yuli won the batting title last year, and I'd be shocked if he hit a ball north of 95 miles an hour last year. This guy was slapping singles around as a 37-year-old first baseman.
Still counts. Love Yuli Gurriel.
Still counts. Yeah, damn. That's interesting. Well, Devers is hitting enough, hard hit baseballs for him and Trevor Story right now.
And maybe not enough, honestly.
My last one, we don't have to go over it. I just want to say, isn't it crazy that Dansby Swanson leads all position players right now in outs above average with 7? I assume you guys probably were looking at the outs above average leaderboards. I was like, that's probably not a good true or false one. But Dansby Swanson is your leader right now in outs above average.
Yeah,
He's been picking it. And he's starting to swing it better too. He's
still like bottom 10 in WRC plus, I think.
Yeah, he's still the barometer for me for average shortstop play.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean he's an average player. That means average shortstop when
average
compared to the
sick
great
position.
shortstops in baseball.
Yeah. I mean, I'll take average at a sick position. I mean, right now the Marlins could use Dansby Swanson in 2 seconds.
Easily. There's 15 teams that could probably use him, but there's 15 other teams that have a better shortstop.
Yep. Correct.
There we go.
So
All right.
get your Just Baseball merch in the episode link description. I'm rocking my Not Gambling Advice tee. Arm's rocking his sweatshirt. It's going to get a little hot. Get yourself a Not Gambling Advice tee. You're at the beach and you want to not gamble.
Yeah.
Wear a t-shirt. It's about to get summertime. That's in the episode link description. The Loop link is in our episode description as well. And if you want to join our chalkboard group chat, we are also talking baseball all day in there as well. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Just Baseball Fans. Of course, on Twitter as well at Just BB Media. We're going to do a mailbag next week for the Just Baseball show with Aram and I on Wednesday. So we will be dropping that post on Tuesday. So make sure you're following us on Instagram at Just Baseball Show. That's our second Instagram, as well as our Twitter at Just BB Media. That's all I got to plug. You guys anything?
I don't think so.
Take your free $20, your free crack at
$20
Broadway
on
tickets, essentially. Yeah. Just download that app. Helps us out.
And with that, thank you, everybody.